So you want to know what it takes to get into the Ivy Leagues? Well, then this episode is for you. We're going to share Bateel's success story of how she got into Cornell, but also top schools like USC and UC Berkeley and a whole bunch of other amazing programs. This is the Accepted by Admission Prep podcast where we go through student stories so that you can learn from their experiences and hopefully replicate their success. You're going to learn on this episode exactly how Bateel did this, the kind of steps that she took for preparation when she began preparing, and also how she would describe her preparation process in one word. And I think it's a good one and a really important one for students. So without further ado, here is Bateel. So Bateel, let's start with the end in mind. Share a little bit about your success. Like, where are you today, kind of after working with Admission Prep?
So right now, I'm starting college in the fall. I'm going to Cornell University, and I actually got not a full ride, but I got like an 80% scholarship, which I'm really grateful for. After this whole process, I was also able to get into schools like UC Berkeley, USC, UC San Diego, yeah, amongst other top schools. So, yeah.
Awesome, congrats. And that, I mean, those are very, very challenging schools, all of them to be accepted to. So great job on that. What was the decision point for Cornell? Like, why Cornell over some of those other schools?
I mean, honestly, for me, so I'm trying to go into pre-med biology, and I mean, the top three schools I got into for me were Cornell, Berkeley, and USC. Um, but for me, it was really down to Berkeley and Cornell just because I knew USC, like, it was a very strong program, but it wasn't as strong generally. Um, and then Berkeley and Cornell was a really tough choice for me. But what really broke it down was that Cornell, because it's a private school, it had really a lot more individualized teaching. And I knew pre-med, like the way pre-med classes are at schools like Berkeley, can be really, really cutthroat just because there's so many people. And I just knew that overall I would get a better quality education and be more experienced if I went to Cornell. So yeah, I think that was the biggest decision maker for me. And then also the fact that Cornell had like more medical schools and things like that around it. And for me, research is a really important thing to do. And versus how Berkeley like doesn't have a med school, so I couldn't get as much of those opportunities. So yeah, that was the big deal breaker for me.
Gotcha. And I mean, that's very well informed. And I mean, these are some big goals, some big schools that you got into, challenging schools. And be honest about this. Like, when you were starting this process, did you think that was possible? Like, were you very, very confident that could happen, or was there like any sort of doubt, or like, were you at all concerned or stressed about being able to actually pull this off?
Honestly, I'm a really anxious person. I was really stressed. Um, I had faith in myself for some UCs. I mean, I was never like sure of anything. I definitely wasn't sure about Berkeley. I thought it was like achievable, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm definitely gonna go there. As far as Cornell, like an Ivy or private school, I had no idea. Like, I did not think that was going to happen, honestly. So I was really proud of that. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's great to hear. And what do you think? We touched on it kind of before chatting, that like the way that you prepared was something that you're really proud of. Like, what did you do maybe differently than most, or like what did you do that like pushed you out of your comfort zone when it came to your preparation?
I mean, so the way my preparations start is, I mean, I was just honestly, first of all, always wanted to aim to get into a good school. Like I've thought about that for years. And so I think my freshman year of high school, I started, I mean, I always had good grades, like personally that stuff wasn't really a struggle for me. Um, but I started, asking around about what I could take, clubs I could do, just everything I could find. I was a really like I looked for everything. And so I had a lot of stuff to do freshman, sophomore year, and I just did a lot of research into it, honestly. And so that was kind of how I was able to build a foundation for, having good things to say about myself on paper. yeah, so you really have to search for all those things. And then I got to my junior year, end of junior year, doing admission prep, and I started like doing my essay, or not doing my essays, just planning out what schools I wanted to go to. And I think the really good thing about that was I started pretty early. So I wrote like my first draft right when of my main Common App essay right when school ended. And so I had so much time to just, I completely threw that one out the window. I had so much time to revise, and I didn't feel as rushed as a lot of people would feel. And so I think like the way I planned it out, like, oh, and this week I'm gonna do this school and that school. And people would think like, oh, like um I wasted my time in the summer or I didn't get to do things. But in reality, it was really laid back and I really wasn't stressed. And me and Nicola were able to revise it so much and go through these things so much. And that's how I prepared. And I feel like that really is what got me the results I wanted.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, like when no one's gonna write a good essay or application when it's at the last second, right? So I think you identified something really important, which is like having that space to throw out your first draft. Like how many revisions do you think you made?
Oh my, I can't even count, honestly. The main essay, I mean, at first, that like first story I talked about, maybe like four times. The second one, I honestly, like, what happened was I got this kind of breakthrough like really late at night. I was like, oh, I should write about this. This would be amazing. I wrote the whole thing in like maybe an hour and a half, and then we made like really small edits. And to me, I was just like, this is perfect. Like, that's the winner. But definitely a ton of different ideas went through my head. And at first it was, I mean, I was kind of lucky that I had like really main points in my life to talk about, but I know it was so hard to pick what you're gonna write for this and that. Um, and so yeah, it was a lot of revising for everything else.
Beautiful. And how did you like, the winning essays, so to speak, the
Mhm.
ones that got you accepted? What was your process for refining and actually getting to those experiences, and maybe share a little bit about what those experiences were?
For sure. So what I would do is I would like look at a whole school's list of questions. And I would always pick I had around like four main topics that I felt like really showcased who I was. Um and so I would pick, okay, this one matches really well up with this one and this one and this one. And then I would break down the questions a lot. Like I would note it, I guess. I would like, and me and Nicola would go through it too, and we'd be like, okay, well, what are they really asking? Because
Hmm.
I kind of had the problem where I would write about something, but I was like, well, I don't really feel like this answered it well. Um, and so that, like, definitely delving deeper into it really got me the wing, writing. Like, I wrote a lot about, what did I write about? So I had this one extracurricular experience that was really important to me. And because I'm going to pre-med, I volunteered at this health clinic and it was abroad. And so for my main Common App essay, I tied, and it was like, in the country I'm from. And so I tied that experience into my own like personal cultural identity and pre-med, and I truly love that essay. And so yeah, I loved connecting seemingly really different things together. Although maybe it sounds cliche, but yeah, connecting like activities really works. Just doing something personal with something like connecting your personal life with a goal. And I made it sound really beautiful, and I feel like it really touches with people. So yeah, that was my main process.
That's beautiful, and that's something that we always like aim to touch on is that we don't advise our students just to jam things into their applications just because they think it's going to look impressive, but have it actually be personal while still answering the prompt, right? Because that's a tricky thing to do. So I guess when did admission prep come into the picture for you? Like, when did you kind of first start to think about needing some additional guidance on your applications and essays?
I think I started definitely a little bit before I started the whole college process. So I want to say I was around halfway through my junior year of high school. And it just it's honestly, this whole world is like really confusing. Like
Yes.
applying to college, like it's very confusing. And so I was like, okay, like I like, the activities I've done. Um, I kind of know what to look for. At the time, I was trying to look for an internship, so Mission Prep definitely helped me do that a little. Um, and I was just like, yeah, I need to prepare myself because I know the whole college thing is crazy and I don't understand where I should be applying. And so I like definitely researched it and I found Admission Prep. And at first they helped me with things like, finding an internship, making a resume and stuff. And a few months into it, I didn't know when to start, but Nicola was like, okay, like you definitely need to start drafting. And I was like, oh, how should I do it? And yeah, that's definitely where it came into the picture for me. It was just me needing a little extra help. I definitely would have been way more confused without it.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. Now, I guess when or if you were to give advice to your younger self after having gone through this process, what would that advice be?
Mm, um, Well, I was a huge worrier for like no reason. Like there were times, I was a freshman or something, and I just like, you didn't need to stack all of that yet. And I would just be like, it's fine. Like whatever will happen, will happen. I know it's cliche, but it's really true. Especially like, oh my gosh, the month of like the decisions coming out was like the most stressful month I've ever had. Um, it's honestly, you just have to be confident. I was really not confident. Like I was like, "Oh, what if I don't get in anywhere?" But no, I would just be like, it's honestly at the end of the day, it's never that serious. You'll still end up somewhere. Even if you don't end up where you want to be at first, like it's way easier than you think to get there. So just be like, relax. You feel like
Well,
it's
yeah, I mean, I think that's good advice, but I'd also push back a little bit, Batil,
Mhm.
because, it feels like, or it sounds like you maybe earned the right to be relaxed because you
Yeah,
put in the work and the preparation,
no,
right? So would it
definitely.
be, yeah, go ahead.
Um, I mean, you definitely need to put in the work. I'm not saying don't put in the work. I'm just saying as long as like you genuinely know you love these things and you're putting, your heart and soul into it, then you should relax. But I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
obviously, if you can't be unrealistic and just be like, "Oh, it's fine. It'll be there." But yeah, at some point there's only so much you can do. So that's definitely the advice I'd give to everyone. But just plan ahead too. I just love planning. So I was really meticulous with like I'm going to take, my SAT, ACT this day and stuff and this is how I'm going to prep. So that's really big advice because I think that's truly what got me through everything. Just plan everything.
I
Really
love
big.
it. You're speaking my language. I love it. What I mean, maybe touching on that, maybe that's a part of it. We always like to say that, yes, this is admissions consulting. Yes, we do education consulting and we help you with the admissions process, but we aim to also make it more than that. Like, have it be that we're teaching the skills that are going to serve you for the rest of your life. What skills or practices or habits do you think that you learned while preparing for applications that you'll use in the future?
Um, let me I think a big one was also not rushing it too. And by that, I don't mean like not rushing at the last minute. I mean, that's definitely not a good idea either. But just in general, like, um, definitely don't look at something and do it all and then be like, okay, this is great. Just rushing is never a good idea, no matter how good you think it is. Like, even that essay that I said was the winner, I definitely have to come back to that and look at everything I'm saying. Um, yeah, I just learned to be really patient with it too. I was like, well, I don't know what to write for this at this time, but eventually the idea will come. And it always did. Um, so yeah, just be really patient. Don't rush everything. I mean, like honestly, I always had like a breakthrough about something when I had no idea it would happen. So yeah, and definitely not too last minute. I mean, I get, sometimes them things are inevitable, but I learned how to plan ahead really well. And I know
I
it's
love
something
that.
to
I
do.
love that'll definitely serve you, especially as a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I need that. So, yeah.
Very good. Well, I guess looking at the successes that you've had, both in the university admission process and getting accepted, how do you view your overall journey now? Like, do you feel that like you're kind of in the right place?
Yeah, no, I mean, during my journey, I think it was really, really stressful until I got, the acceptances. I definitely think I'm in the right place. I mean, I'm so happy to be going to this school. There's like nothing, nothing bad like I can see. So I'm really happy with where I am. I definitely think like this was my goal. Like, I yeah, I didn't expect it. So I'm really happy with my journey. I think it was all worth it. Like, every like super late night study or writing or something, like it was all worth it and I really don't regret anything. So I'm really happy.
Oh, that's awesome. Now you just need some warmer jackets for Ithaca.
Oh my God, I've been getting some already. I've been wearing them for years. Like everyone's trying to scare me and they're like, "Oh, you don't live in the snow. Like it's gonna be freezing." I'm like, it's fine. I'll get used to it.
Do you like snow?
I've only seen the snow once, but
Wow. Well,
I
you'll
do.
get to see it there for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's really beautiful there too, so I'm super excited for that. It's like definitely different, but it has so much to do, which a lot of people like saying, "Oh, like it's a small area," but no, there's so much to do there. And I'm really excited for, they have winter sports and stuff there, so yeah, I'm excited for all that.
Yeah, some good. I'm a hockey player, and Cornell's always
Oh,
got a
me
good
too.
hockey team.
Yeah, yeah, I've always heard that. So I'll be at the games now.
Yeah. Well, that'll be great. Okay, last question for you.
Mhm.
How would you describe your admissions and application process in just one word?
I would say meticulous. I was just
Meticulous.
I was super meticulous. Everything was just super, everything, I don't know, everything's super detailed. Everything I did was super, like, it was a very picky, like, meticulous process. But I feel like if you're like that, I don't know, that was what made me successful, in my opinion.
So that was Bateel's road to Cornell. And I think that journey was defined by early preparation, constant refinement, and then also courage to trust the process eventually. And I think her story represents that meticulous planning, also having the right guidance and the right plan, can actually make really ambitious goals a reality. Now, if you are ready to map out your own path to top universities, come visit us at admissionprep.com and start your journey today. We'd love to see if we can help you. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Accepted by Admission Prep.